Du ja. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 und wir sind fertig. Na dann. So, da kommen wir ja nicht rein. Aber hier war doch eine Tür, für die man eine Magnetkarte brauchte. The keycard I found seemed like it would pass through this reader. Did I use the keycard? Yes. Also ist da nur das hier. There was some kind of ventilation hatch there. It looked like I could jump to the room below. My leg hurt enough as it was, but I couldn't see another option. Did I jump? Yes. Ow! Oh man, my leg hurt like hell. Ja, man sieht's. There was a crumbled up ladder on the floor. It had been scratched out heavily, and it was hard to make out. Did I try to read the letter? Für was hebt man's auf, wenn man nichts lesen möchte? Natürlich! Most of the letter was violently scratched out with what looked to be a ballpoint pen. All I could make out was, need to, just don't, drinking, needs, Norman. Who was Norman writing to? The poor guard. Was the flashlight I carried his? It looked like he had met his end violently. I only hoped it was quick. I had to get home to Rachel, but I couldn't stop thinking about Norman. He and Rachel were friends. Could he help? It wasn't like I really had anyone else to turn to. My leg burned with pain. I only hoped I could find a way through the dark path before me and get to Norman's store. Moment, wir sind jetzt wieder draußen. Nein. Moment mal. Ah, fuck. Wir hatten doch noch diese eine Tür, die durch den Strom aufgehen sollte. Also so ein elektrisches Schloss. Verdammt, Raum Nummer 2, den wir verpasst haben. Ja, da waren noch gerade Augen. Wahrscheinlich eine Eule oder so. Was ist das für ein Geräusch? The garbage bin was a disgusting mess of rotten food and slick black bags. I saw a thin greenish corner poking out from one of the bags. It was my driver's license. It looked damaged. Did I take it back? Yes. I cleaned the card off as best I could. Wieder ein Fehler. It looked pretty beat up. I was amazed to have found my credit card, and now this. I took the card into my wallet next to my credit card. Sounded like it was going to start raining again. Lauf! Lauf, Junge! I had entered Norman's place. This was the back of the store that he ran. It was oddly quiet, except for a faint sound of the television. Also erst nach oben. Ein paar Dielen im Boden. What the hell? One of Rachel's old autumn coats hung on a rack. It was Norman's bedroom, wasn't it? What was this doing here? Inside the cabinet was a small but impressive collection of hunting rifles, shotguns, and even a few items I didn't think were legal here. One of the slots on the rack was empty. The gun I had found seemed to match the others there. If the handgun was Norman's, What the hell was he doing with it? The gun would fit there. Did I place it back in the cabinet? Ah, fuck no. Das haben wir uns verdient. Though it weighed on me, I had a hard time parting with the weapon just then. Ja, irgendeinen Grund wird es wohl haben, dass wir die gefunden haben, oder? Außer das ist irgendeine Geheimtür, die nur funktioniert, wenn man da wirklich alle Sachen drin hat, aber das bezweifle ich. Okay, wenn der Fernseher hier ist, dann gehen wir erst nach unten. Auf jeden Fall war hier gerade Blut. The entrance to the front of the store was locked from the inside. It looked like I couldn't just pop it open. It needed a key. There was a bit of blood on the keyhole. Ja, so viel dazu. The TV still flicked some indecipherable channel. Können wir die ausschalten? I couldn't make out what was on the screen, but the glow just gave me the chills. Jesus! I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Norman, my co-worker and one of the few friends I had in this town, lay dead beside his armchair. His face and shirt were covered in blood. It looked like he'd been shot trying to get up. His eyes were wide with the shock, though they were already drying. Norman, what was Rachel doing here? Why did you have her coat? Norman, maybe you deserved better. You probably did. Did I close his eyes? Yes. I closed his eyelids down, shuddering as I did so. I wasn't sure if I wanted to give him peace, or if I just couldn't stand to think any more about what was going on. I guess this was Norman's kitchen table. He kept it clean enough, but there were water rings from 2 cups still there in the wood. Aha, also hatte Besuch. The kitchen trash bin smelled fresh. I didn't dig through that mess, did I? Yes, you did. Found a hairpin amongst the rotting food and trash and pocketed it. Okay, also wir haben eine Haarklammer, Haarspange, die wahrscheinlich unserer Frau gehörte. Und mit der können wir jetzt, also wenn das eine Haarnadel ist, dann könnten wir damit vielleicht die Tür aufmachen. Wenn das nur eine Haarspange ist, dann... Okay, es ist eine Haarnadel. I used a hairpin to pick the lock. The hairpin snapped in half, so I threw it away. The general store was small, but it was clean. It had the usual things: postcards, snacks, magazines, and canned goods. I never went there much. Rachel usually stopped by after work if we needed anything. The register was mostly empty, and a fat stack of travel magazines sat beside it. Wollten die zwei etwa fliehen? Sind wir ausgerastet und haben die beiden umgebracht? Wir werden es vielleicht noch erfahren. The icebox seemed to be unplugged. It must have been off for a while. Most of its content were half melted. There were various postcards from the area, especially from the tourist traps. One of the postcards showed an old black and white photo of the water tower. It looked to be in much better shape then. Wann war denn? Vor 3 Jahren? Vor 5 Jahren? My God, what had I seen? Norman was dead, but I had no idea why, and I didn't know how he could have been involved in all this. But the thought of him lying on the floor up there was sickening. The only comfort I had was the gun I still carried. But was it really a comfort or a curse? The rain was coming down hard, but at least I was close to home. It wouldn't be long before I got my answers. Aha, also wir gehen zu Hause.
It was locked. This wasn't the right gate.
Und... Gott, wie viele Türen sind hier bitte? Okay. Letzte Tür.
I had the wrong gate. This one was locked.
Können wir nochmal zurück? Können wir nochmal zurück?
The door on the led back. I had to find my house.
Da war aber noch eine Tür. Okay, wahrscheinlich war die aber auch verschlossen. Warum sind hier überall kaputte Fernseher?
The neighborhood's local post box. A letter was sticking out, as if someone hadn't pushed it all the way in. I knew it wasn't right, but did I look at the letter?
Yes.
There was no return address, but the envelope was addressed to Norman. Carefully, I tore it open and looked at the letter inside. It read, "Stay away. She's mine." That was it. No signature. No other information.
Also haben wir das geschrieben.
The gate was locked tight. This wasn't my house.
Also ich denke, das ist irgendwie so. Wir haben ihn umgebracht, weil er sich an unsere Frau rangemacht hat.
I had the wrong gate. This one was locked. I had entered our backyard. The rain gave me a terrible sense of foreboding, and it chilled me through my clothes. I was expectant, but also afraid. Be afraid. Very afraid.
Okay, wir haben hier nichts.
I held my breath as I approached our back door. I was terrified to step inside.
Oh, Blut.
The house was painfully quiet. The only sound was my own breathing, ragged and strained. I flicked the light switch. By the door, the power was off.
Gut, dass uns die Batterien nicht ausgehen können.
There was a small pile of mail on the floor, in front of the mail slot. How long had I been away? Why hadn't Rachel picked this up? Most of the contents were bills. There was a credit card bill there. Did I open it?
Yes.
I ripped the bill open and read it. To my surprise, it said something about cancelling my credit card due to non-payment. What the hell? The front door was locked from inside. I couldn't go out though. I needed to see if Rachel was here.
Okay, ich nehme an, dass hier irgendwie so Schlafzimmer ist. The door to the basement, it was locked.
Where had I put the damn key?
Also wahrscheinlich irgendwo oben. Dann ist hier... Oh. Ja. Ich dachte, wir hätten irgendwie so eine zweite Tür, also so einen zweiten Durchgang nach oben gehabt, aber ich habe mich wohl getäuscht. Na dann. Links. Systematisch von links nach rechts.
An old photo of Rachel and me stared back at me, reminding me of better times. It didn't make me feel terribly comfortable. Did I keep it anyway?
Yes.
I replaced the photo in my wallet, feeling like I had got part of my life back. Still, the image made me uneasy. Why had I thrown it away? Ooh. Our television. I'd purchased it before I knew I was going to lose my job. I felt pretty guilty about it afterward, but by then it was too late.
Also ich bekomme langsam wirklich das Gefühl, dass meine Anmaßungen und Annahmen ziemlich korrekt sind.
The door was stuck shut. There was an old-fashioned keyhole underneath the handle.
Wir brauchen den Schlüssel. Diesmal rechts.
A hallway mirror had been smashed, its pieces scattered around the floor. My laptop had been left on and only had a tiny bit of power left. On the screen was a website about the old water tower. There was a key in the top drawer of my desk. Did I take it? Yes. I pocketed the key.